Angel, how you gonna get caught in 4 lies in one episode? What is up, everybody? It's your girl, Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is Season 10, Episode 4. Before we get started with the episode, I need y'all to hit the like button for me, hit the hype feature in the comments, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Let's just go ahead and get into it because, y'all, why was this episode an hour? Like, that really annoyed me. We start this episode. I mean, the episode wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad episode, but I'm just like, girl, I be having stuff to do. Like, we start the episode with the ladies in the Sprinter van. Stacy is simply combing her hair. And you got Dejanay from Proud Family, aka Kiarna, talking about, Stacy, don't touch me, girl. What is wrong with her? Like, seriously, like, what is wrong with this girl? I find Kay to be so insufferable. Oh my God. I wanted to like her so bad, but ugh. So Wendy and Jazelle are sitting together, and Wendy says to Jazelle, just bring my name up to Angel and she'll talk about me for 7 minutes. This just seemed out of nowhere. Like, where did that come from? That was weird. And what are you and Jazelle now? The Wonder Twins? Jazelle, I don't think that she graduated. Now, you know this is about to be a whole thing because these women, they all have degrees. They all graduated from college. So here comes the classism. Did y'all see when Jazelle and Wendy were talking that Wendy was staring at Jazelle and she was literally hanging onto her every word? Y'all are so lame. Let's just put a pin in what I said, though. Just put a pin in that. Anyway, the food at Preakness looks so damn good. I want to go to Preakness. Like, I want to go to this horse race. I want to go. I've never been. I never got into like horse racing, horse betting, or nothing like that, but this was cute. So anyway, the ladies are sitting and having a bite. Angel says that she has somebody to hook Jazelle up with, and Wendy and Stacy want to know who. In unison, they're saying, is he chocolate? Is he bald? Because we all know that Giselle's type is a slightly ugly, chocolate, bald-headed man. Ashley says to Tia that it's been brought to my attention that you call me rude. And Ashley, it was rude for you to know that Jazelle was on speakerphone and invite her and her only to an event when you know that she's around people that's filming.
Sometimes
that is
when
rude as hell.
Ashley is being nasty or rude or out of order, I have to remind myself who she was raised by, and that was Sheila, who was living under a bridge with her man. Ashley puts her feet up on people's counters. That's how you know that Ashley was not raised. My family is from the Caribbean, so they would say, she don't have no brought up see. Now, I'm absolutely not making excuses for Ashley. It's more of a reminder to myself because I find myself getting so irritated when I look at Ashley on my TV.
Tia says, well, you know, it was tongue-in-cheek, and Kay wants to know what tongue-in-cheek is. Tia says, that means that it's just not that serious. It kind of just rolled off my tongue. And Kay's like, oh, so like chin check. No, Kay. Chin check, the terminology that you use to describe how you got your friend together, allegedly, that's actually aggressive. So Ashley comes back at Tia, and Tia's like, you were being rude. Keep up. You know, I don't want to go back and forth with you. If you want to keep digging, dig, but I'm not going to get dirty with you. Y'all, I really love how Tia got her together in this moment, and then she quickly turned the energy into, well, I actually do have a problem with you, Ashley, because Jazelle told me that you were really going to like me, and you didn't even try to pinch my butt or anything like that. So it was like a cute little, you know, she turned the energy around. So in walks Jazzy with a lady that I definitely thought was Cynthia Bailey for a moment. And I was like, oh, that's not Cynthia. Anyway, Jazzy comes in, and she definitely brightens up the energy. She's like a big burst of fresh air. I really like her with this group, and no shade, but I really feel like she should have gotten the flute that Kay got. I don't know what production, what casting was doing, but Jazzy should be on this show. So then we have Angel reaching over to Jazzy and asking Jazzy what position her man plays. Jazzy says he's a linebacker. And then Angel says, oh, my husband, he started for 10 years. Who asked you that? So then Ashley is saying to Kay, hey, is everything okay with you and Jazzy? Because your body language changed when she came into the group. Now, I noticed that too. Kay's face was all twisted up. Kay is like, I actually do have a problem. And she calls Jazzy over. And she's like, well, Wendy told me that Jazzy had an issue. And Wendy's like, hold on a minute. This is the first lady coming over. Let's just keep it classy for a bit. So they greet the first lady, and she clearly does not want to be filmed. She does not make it into the frame at all, and I don't blame her. And then Kay in her confessional goes on to say, Wendy did so much bragging about being invited by the first lady, and we only saw her for 2.5 seconds. Girl, it's the first lady. She got shit to do. She got other people to see. Why you think she want to be talking to you? I'm sick of Dejanay. Anyway, Jazzy says to Kay, listen, Kay, it's all right, because I know you're going through a lot with your man. And Kay goes on to say, Jazzy, I know you're going through a lot with your man who had 2 babies on you. Now, Jazzy, I don't know why you brought up something about somebody else's man. You can't throw nobody's man in their face, of all people, girl. Now, Kay, you can't either, but Kay got you back with that one, Jazzy. Jazzy goes on to say, I would be upset too if all I got out the situation was a little condo that he didn't pay for. Let's go ahead and put a pin in that, because Jazzy, I'm going to have to get you together later for that. How does Jazzy know about this condo and this whole situation? There's so many conversations, so many side conversations that are being had. So the ladies are now meeting up at the airport, and in comes Jazzy. Jazelle apparently really likes Jazzy because she invited her to this trip. So the girls get on the plane, and Jazzy is the only one in economy. So you want to clock somebody because their man didn't buy them a condo, but your man couldn't even get you a first class ticket?
I'm sorry.
What are you feeling right now?
Embarrassed.
So now we have the ladies at the customs office. They're having a little bit of champagne, a little bit of hors d'oeuvres. Stacy said that she reached out to Angel and she got a lukewarm reception from her. And it's obviously because Kay has been talking shit about Stacy. So the lady who is working in customs, she approaches Angel and she says, we have an issue here because you're not supposed to be walking around with camouflage. Camouflage is the uniform of the oppressor. And what Americans don't realize, it's like you can't go to other countries wearing the oppressor's clothing. The U.S. has destabilized so many of these countries that y'all love to casually travel to. So in the Caribbean, where my family is from, they don't play that shit. You're not coming in here with no camo, because it's like, are you in the military? Are you in the army? Why do you have that? Also, she should have threw that damn bag in the garbage because it was ugly anyway. I would just think that for Angel to be so well traveled, you know, you got a man in the NFL, so I'm sure y'all be going places that you know you can't go out of the country with camo. So Angel gonna sit up and say, oh, somebody clearly did juju on me. No, take some damn accountability. Say you forgot, or say you didn't read up on it, or whatever it is, but don't say somebody did juju on you. I can't stand when people can't take accountability for very simple things. So the ladies are eating, and, you know, these little hors d'oeuvres, little salmon balls. And Wendy gonna come out of nowhere to Stacy saying, oh, Stacy, do you suck balls? What is wrong with Wendy? Wendy is saying a lot of like side comments that's getting on my nerves. Like when she told, what's her name, to wipe Kay's face with her dress. It's like, shut up. So the ladies are on a boat. Did y'all see Giselle's wig? Jazelle, how many more wigs without closures are we going to have to see this season? Jazelle, you got too much damn money for these wigs. Take that wig off. So the ladies are like, let's celebrate with champagne. And Jazelle is saying to Jazzy, well, these ladies may or may not have wanted you to come. And she's referring to Kay and Angel. So Angel, oh, she also goes on to say, well, they wanted Charisse to come instead of you. Now, Angel says, I'll be honest, I don't remember saying don't bring Jazzy. This is how I know that you probably did say it. Because if you didn't say it, you would have said, nah, I definitely didn't say that. I feel like you would know what you said. You can't be like, well, I don't remember saying that. Either you said it or you didn't. I'm seeing that Angel and Kay have a very strange relationship with the truth. And then she goes on to tell a few more lies in this episode. We're going to get into all of her lies, okay? So anyway, they're asking her, well, do you know Charisse like that? And she's like, yeah, I know her well. I've known her for a while. Why did the producers flash back to Charisse and Angel having a moment where Charisse is just looking at her like, hi, how are you? Yes, we have a mutual friend. Oh, we do? Like, that's what Charisse was giving. It looked like they were being reintroduced to each other. You don't know that lady, Angel. Why is you lying? It honestly looked like Charisse was trying to recall where she even knew you from, girl. Kay says, listen, I'm not phony, I'm not fake. And Jazzy says, well, what did you say about Wendy? I said, here we go. So Jazzy says that whatever Kay said about Wendy, it was 6+ months ago. You're the problem in this situation, Kay. Because before all of this shit happened between you and Wendy and you felt like she was being shady, you were already talking shit about the girl.
That you are working on something right now. And I feel success coming up behind it, but I also feel lots of opposition. There's some people that's in your circle that's telling you that they're your friends and they're talking against your future.
I don't like how Jazzy brought this up, but she wouldn't say exactly what was said. My thing is, if you're going to bring us information, tell us exactly what was said or leave it on the playground. Wendy says, in this case, you should have came to me if you had a problem. And Jazzy chimes in and Kay's like, oh, you don't even exist. You're not even here. And Jazzy's like, Hose is mad. Kay is like, nobody's mad. Jazzy is pretty much like, I'm the fiance. That's something you'll never be. And I could tell that that was like a gut punch to Kay, because remember last year, she was saying by a certain time she was going to be married. Like the next time we see her, she's going to be married or something like that. And lo and behold, she is not married. I didn't like how Tia was saying, oh, I can't even understand what these girls are saying. And oh, they speak in a different language. And it's like, Tia, shut up, girl. Your husband is from the south side of Chicago and you got sassy teenage daughters. So you're going to sit up here and act like you don't understand what the Americans are saying? Like, that is just so played to me. Like, just stop it. Like, Tia, I'm warming up to you, but you need to stop with that. Wendy brings up that Angel took a dig at Jazzy, and Angel says, oh, there's this commitment to misunderstanding me. I don't think that there is, Angel. Angel goes on to say, well, she asked me about my husband. Production rolled the tapes back, and it was actually Angel asking Jazzy about her husband. This is lie number 2. Didn't nobody ask you about your man, girl. You asked her about her man. You volunteered some information that didn't nobody ask you. So anyway, Stacy's asking Angel, do you have it in your heart to make friends with those of us who don't enjoy Kay? And Angel is like, yes. And, you know, you guys will get to know me and whatever. So let's go ahead and put a pin in that. So the girls are twerking and dancing and drinking champagne, having a good time. And then you got Kay on the side looking sour, and Angel is sitting with her looking sour. And you can tell that Kay is upset that she got called out again. And I'm like, you shouldn't have been talking shit. And if you're going to talk shit, stand on it. Because here we have, for the second time, Jazelle calling you out and you sitting there mad and you not saying nothing to Jazelle. It's so interesting how Jazelle gets to stir the turd in every scene. But don't nobody get mad at Jazelle. Don't nobody got nothing to say. Don't nobody check Jazelle. Nothing. Let's put a pin in that, okay? When I tell you Kay is flopping so hard this season, it's a rough watch. It's kind of a rough watch because I think a lot of us had high hopes and expectations for Kay. Anyway, we get to this moment where Jazelle is saying that she was looking at pictures of Angel and Tia on social media, and it occurs to her that Angel's pictures are heavily filtered. Now, she is just having this conversation privately with Ashley at the moment. She doesn't bring this to the group just yet, okay? So let's just put a pin in that as well. Now, in this moment that she said that, I did take some time to go through Angel's Instagram, and I gotta say, I can see why Jazelle feels like that. They do look heavily filtered. They look like AI to me. I'm not even gonna hold you. A lot of them pictures look like AI. I'm like, why did you do this? Who the hell edited these pictures? Like, it looks horrible. It looks so fake and just drawn, and I'm like, what is going on here? I want to point out also that I looked specifically for the pictures post baby, right? Because after you have a baby or when you get pregnant or whatever, I know how these changes take a hold of your body. You gain weight in a lot of places. You know, your neck gets darker, your nose spreads across your face, you know, everything gets really swollen. So I get it. I am sure that she had changed after she had her baby, and that's why I wanted to look at her pictures post baby, because it would be clear that her face had gone through the most changes after that. And I'm looking at these post baby pictures, and the nose is very slender, looks nothing like how it looks now. Listen, Angel has a very prominent nose. There is no amount of contouring that is going to slim her nose down, period. There are certain filters that you can go into on Instagram that will give you that Kim Kardashian pointy nose, and it looks like that's what she's doing. It could be Facetune, it could be something else, but I get why people are saying that that doesn't look like her. I didn't bother to look at before pictures because, of course, she would look different before babies, you know? I did think it was a really cute moment that when Jazelle was giving out rooms, that Jazzy, Stacy, and Wendy were excited about rooming with each other, and they started jumping up and down and screaming. That was really cute, and I love to see that because it's like, Stacy needs friends. Stacy needs allies in this situation. It's not cool to watch a person being singled out. I like that there's some friendship, some camaraderie between them. And Jazzy just seems like a really fun, sweet, like funny, cool girl to hang out with. Also, I feel like she would be good to have in your corner because she doesn't back down. Even though she be dead ass wrong sometimes, she don't back down. So that's definitely a good thing, especially in a group like this. So the girls are going through their villas, and everybody has a monogram robe and a nice card with a little thank you, like a welcome gift, a little bag with some makeup and stuff like that. And I thought that that was a really nice touch from Jazelle, but everybody got one from Jazelle except for Stacy, and I thought that that was nasty. Like, that was very childish and rude and mean-spirited. I suppose we can't expect much from Jazelle at this time, because what would have been the big deal to just put her name on a robe and write a little card for her? She's on this trip with y'all. It's like, why not try to make the best of it? Like, Jazelle can be so... Wendy says that she's been on the receiving end of Jazelle's darkness, and she feels for Stacy, but it's not her, so she's okay with it. So do y'all see how Wendy is admitting that she's happy to now be in Jazelle's good graces? All Wendy ever wanted was Jazelle's acceptance, and I feel a little bit disgusted by that. Because we've been saying this, we have been screaming this from the mountaintops, and Wendy gets up here in the 10th season after beefing with Jazelle for years, and she admits, oh, I got her acceptance now, so I don't care how she treats other people. Do you know how lame that makes you look? You're not even trying to hide it. Oh my God.
Oh well, all you can do is laugh.
So Angel is in her room talking to Kay about how it's so rude that Wendy, she calls out Wendy's name. She says, Wendy didn't say anything to me at the airport and they didn't welcome me. Y'all, why does production roll back the tapes of Wendy and everybody else greeting her at the airport? She's like, they didn't see me. It's like I was a ghost. This is the third lie we done caught you in. Lies. Listen, I told you I was going to try. I was going to try with these new girls. So anyway, Stacy and Kay are having a little conversation. Stacy is asking Kay about Greg. Someone goes, well, I didn't know that you two were talking, Stacy and Kay. And Kay's like, yeah, we're getting along now. We had some chit chat. I asked her for some gum and she asked me about Angel. And Angel's like, well, what did you ask about me? And Stacy's pretty much like, I just asked how you were doing. And Angel says, well, the best way to get to know me is to come and talk to me. Was that necessary? Was that even necessary? She just asked how you were doing. Obviously, the best way to get to know somebody is to come and talk to somebody. But you're saying that she can't ask how you're doing? It's because you think that they're going to have a conversation about you that you don't want had, just like you're having conversations about other people. So it just gave a little bit of projection in this moment, because what was the issue for real? Angel says, you know, only 1 or 2 people reached out to try to get to know me. Did you reach out to try to get to know anybody, though? You expect everybody to come up to you, but you're not going up to anybody else. You're not making that effort. It goes both ways. Tia says, well, didn't you guys go to school together? Wendy and Angel, I've never seen you guys speak. And Angel goes on to say, well, you know, I was feeling attacked at Kay's event. She says that the question was unnecessary. Okay, it was a question, and even if you felt like it was necessary, how the fuck were you attacked? Attacked? Wendy says it's just interesting that you use that term with me. Consistently, when it comes to me, you weaponize certain terms against something that I absolutely did not say or do. Wendy says it doesn't feel like you're excited to get to know this group. And Angel's like, well, it's hard for me to reach out to new people and branch out, whatever. So Jazelle segues into this whole, well, your pictures don't look like you. I thought you were a catfish. Now, again, I went through Angel's pictures. It did look like AI. No shade. Jazelle is telling this lady to her face, that is not you in those pictures. They look heavily filtered. You are not the same woman. She is going in on Angel. Angel kind of just sat there. And then in her confessional, Angel says, well, some of these ladies were laughing at the things that Jazelle had to say and going along with her. And some of them are so insecure about their appearance that they had to run to the operating table to make themselves look like a permanent Instagram filter. That was obviously a dig at Wendy. So instead of directing your venom towards Jazelle, once again, you're directing it at Wendy. And listen, I'm going to say it again. Y'all probably going to say I'm doing too much if I say that it's colorism, because why is all of the venom, why is all of the energy for Wendy, but none for Jazelle? Jazelle just called you a Sims character to your face. Jazelle just called you AI to your face, babes. And you ain't say shit to her besides, oh, that's really me. Girl. So Wendy is having a side conversation with Stacy. And Kay is interrupting her like, oh, what are y'all saying? What are you saying? You need to say it. And Wendy says, your energy towards me is so different. She says, Angel, I asked you a question at Kay's house and it led to you're attacking me. Wendy says, what you're doing right now is proving my point, because Angel got really snappy with her again. She was like, well, and it was like, whoa, you didn't snap back at Jazelle. Because for me, if Jazelle is questioning me about my pictures, I would have been like, oh, I didn't know that you were social media police. Jazelle's the easiest motherfucking read at that table, and you ain't say shit to that bitch. She brought up how Kay said, do you even like this lady? Wendy brought that up. And remember last week when I was saying every time Kay's like, do you like her? You don't even like her. She's waking up these side conversations that they are having. Y'all are having these side conversations and Kay is throwing y'all under the bus in these moments of confrontation. Why Kay felt the need to do that to her own homegirl? Do you like her? Do you even like this lady? What does it matter? What did it matter when you brought up that Wendy doesn't like Jazelle? She loves Jazelle. Looking up behind her ass. Again, Angel don't got nothing to say to this. Now, Angel, I will definitely give you this. You could have said something back to Jazelle and maybe they edited it out. I doubt it, because we want to see a newbie getting Jazelle together. especially if Jazelle is coming for you. But you were mum's the word. We get Stacy airing Jazelle out for having a man while trying to get all up in her business. Jazelle looked pretty unfazed by it. If anything, this episode really demonstrated to me how much of a liar Angel is and how much Ashley is not needed at all on this show. Then Ashley brings up this rumor that Stacy is dating Chris Samuels. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Go ahead and get down in the comments with me. Let me know how you felt about this one. You already know I want to hear from you. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.